slavery. These are, when I say Afro, I'm not saying African. The term Afro doesn't come from African, actually. People get that mixed up because it sounds like Afro comes from woolly hair. The swarthy skinned, woolly hair people of America, we were known as Afro, initially Afro-Asiatic. And there's a reason for that I'll talk about later, right? Because many of them, some of them had what you would call, and it still even runs in my family, where I got a little cousin who has what you would call kind of Asiatic features, right? And I'm not saying any of, see, when you talk race talk, everything gets real political and weird. You know, when you just call out actual features of people being different, objective, observable reality, people will say you're being racist and shit, and you're not. So anyway, like for instance, when I say my little cousin, he favors the Buddha statue, he does. We used to call him Buddha as a baby. Okay, those are what we would call Afro-Asiatic features. Okay, to a certain degree. So anyway, there were Afro-Asiatic tribes, Afro tribes indigenous to America. Most modern black people right now, that's what their blood quantum is mostly related to. But will I say, do a lot of us have some African blood? Yes, a little bit, but that doesn't make us African, because most people have some African blood in them. But that doesn't make, there's not enough of the blood quantum of African DNA in us to call us sub-Saharan Africans. That's the biggest con game ever played on humanity, okay? It's them making us think we're a whole different continent so that black American tribes, so that we lost our lineage and our claim to this landmass. That's why, if you're wondering, Ronnie, too, what, you know, Ron Joshua James, where is this coming from? That's why. And by the way, I can show y'all a little, let me show y'all something. So look, now, you know, I'm old school, so some of my shit is all damaged, some of my articles and things, because they're old. But see this right here? This is called Black Indians by William Katz, okay? Check out that scholarship. Notice the names. These are European scholars. These are people who were here, bloodlines of settlers, and they saw with their own eyes, okay, and wrote about it, that it was black people. And I want you to get a good look at this, too. Look at this. Look at this man on the right, okay? Now, on the left, you might say, well, that guy on the left looks more like a red native, and I'm going to explain why. But on the right, at least my right, it might be y'all left. I'm not sure how this video will invert when I upload. But on my right, the guy without the hat, take a good look at him. What do you see when you're looking at him? He almost looks like Roy Jones Jr., don't he? But darker. These were indigenous Afro-Asiatic people on this land. Look at that. Look at that. Just so y'all not making this up. They know. They have records of this stuff, man. So we can't let immigrants and outsiders from other countries, respectfully I say that, because you can say things with boundaries and respect and it not be racist. We can't let them go and tell us our history when they're not from here. Many of these people don't even have a birth certificate in their own homelands. Some of these people don't have a written history, man. I'm just being real. Excuse me. I'm not being disrespectful when I say that. I'm being honest. I'm telling you. So, you look up the book Black Indians from William Katz. Great read. Great read. This is proof, scholarship. Because like I said, I don't like anything that's not rooted in scholarship. You know, I'm very, very critical like that. I have to know this is scholarship based. This is based on receipts and evidence, anecdotal and empirical. Yes, empirical and anecdotal data, okay, collected to prove things. Let me give y'all some more of these good reads that y'all need to read to prove that we're not African. Okay, now I'm going to explain the blood quantum, the little bit of African DNA we do have in us. There's a difference between being something and having a dash of that DNA in you. Because in that logic, a lot of people, what a lot of the immigrant Africans are saying is, you black Americans are self-haters. You hate yourself. You hate your ancestry lineage, nigga. And that's not true. That's not what it is. We don't have enough blood quantum proving that we are African to classify ourselves as African, no more than Europeans do. Europeans all have a little bit of African DNA in them. Nobody calls them Africans. They're not called African Caucasians. Almost all races got a little bit of African DNA in them because life started in a Fertile Crescent, allegedly. But I even have a little bit of scholarship that goes against that as well. Because I argue to a certain degree that life actually started right here on American soil before it was called America, when it was called Tartaria, okay? I'm going to tell y'all about the blood quantum of someone called Albert Perry. I'm going to really need y'all to do y'all Googles. Do your Googles, as the old folks would say, do your Googles. Do your Googles. So you know none of this stuff is fake. I'm not making this up. I don't talk from just my own expressive emotions and opinions. This ain't no